Boo! Yes, it's the final week of October, which means we have the World Series, college football, the NFL, NHL action, the NBA, UFC, soccer, and let's not forget about that college basketball right around the corner. Since we're almost obliged to have a Halloween commercial, let's make it a scary good one. Until midnight on October 31st, no costume is required to get a 31% discount on one all-access package of your choice at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo using coupon code BOO31 at checkout. This coupon will save you over $12 on a one-day all-access that includes any 5% plays. And it'll also save you over $18 off the 3-day all-access. Or why not go big and save over $90 off the 30-day all-access? Or perhaps take over business for the next year by saving over $600 with the 12-month all-access package, coming out to just $3.77 per day for the next 365 days. Coupon code BOO31 expires at midnight on Halloween. But remember to use it wisely, as this coupon can only be used once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo. From my friend and I, happy Halloween.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Friday to you. It is time for a little NBA tip-off show powered by WagerTalk.com as we go into the second full weekend here of the season. We got a couple of matchups here tonight on a pretty decent card that we're going to break down for you, see if we can find any best bets, and we're going to do it, of course, with our Friday crew as we welcome back in Mr. Prop God himself, Andy Lang here, Tony Mejia with a return performance, as is Steve, 2 R's and 1 L. Merrill hanging out with you guys here on a Friday. A lot going on here, guys. World Series tonight, college football, and, of course, big slate in the NFL and NHL. I mean, you mix it in across the board. Soccer, we got a little something for everybody here this time of year. Andy, welcome in, man. I know you on top of UFC. I know you just did the show as well. So tell us what you got locked and loaded for this Halloween weekend.
Yeah, pretty good card here. We got a couple of UFC bets that are up. NHL props have started. We're pretty low volume, only about one a night as the season moves on, but doing really good. Had a really nice cash on UFC. Last night in NBA props, off to a really good, profitable start. Real happy with that. We got 2 of those up tonight, a 4% and a 3%. And then it's just been an amazing 5% run in the NFL. 8-1, 5% NFL run. We've got another one for this Sunday. The props just keep jumping out. You can use a promo code ANDY59, ANDY59. It gets you a 7-day pass, which is probably the best way to go about it because you'll get all the props, all the plays. Steve, you'll be proud of me, 62% in auto racing this year, just having the dream season. So we got Formula One and NASCAR this weekend. Looking to be a really good Halloween weekend. Excited to talk some NBA.
All right, I love it here. Opportunity presents itself, Tony Mejia. It's just a matter of jumping through it here, man. Plenty of opportunities here tonight and this weekend. What do you got locked and loaded for us at WagerTalk?
Locked and loaded with an NBA 5% tonight. Hope to go 2-0 on the season there. Yesterday sucked because the Kings really were disappointing in their game last night, and especially with that total. It's fine when you want to run out the clock inside the final 30 seconds, but the Grizzlies decided to do it with over a minute to go, and he's shaking hands. So Desmond Bane had done enough, though, to his credit. But and then we got 2 missed free throws, so that was rough. But I mean, obviously we have a big weekend in sports, a big card with the NBA tonight. Don't know who the Magic are going to start at point guard. Maybe they'll actually give R.J. Hampton some time. That might be something that you might want to look at DFS. And then we will have a 5% college football play tomorrow. Not sure about the NFL yet on Sunday, but now that the injury report is released, I can put in my contest picks and all my Sunday plays as well. So, yeah, very busy Halloween weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. No, guys, don't forget, take advantage of Boo31. You get those packages 31% off right now through Halloween. Take advantage, guys. Head over there. Use that code BOO31. Steve Merrill, welcome back in, man. Continuing cash them tickets in the association, in the NFL, as well as college football. The association 1 week in already. I know you're getting ready for college basketball, so talk to us here, man. What do you got up and ready for us?
Yeah, it's a great promo. Boo!
Oh!
Boo! Boo, Joe Raineri. Boo 31. That gets
prop.
it done. 31% off all. And like you said, every single sport is going right now except college basketball, and that's a couple of weeks away. So if you get the right package with that all access, like a month or a year, you can get college hoops as well. Boo 31% off. Andy Lang, I'm always proud of you, but even more proud when you're winning in auto racing, as you know. And I was curious how you were doing this year because it's been a crazy NASCAR season with like 19, 20 different winners already. And, of course, college football is here tomorrow on Saturday, as you mentioned. I had a huge Saturday last week, a perfect 5-0 sweep. And the reason I bring that up is because guess what? I've got 5 best bets for this Saturday as well, and they are loaded in advance right now. 3 NFL plays loaded in advance for Sunday. You do the math. That's 8 football plays for this weekend that are ready right now at WagerTalk.com. College football top 25 video is ready right now. Andy Lang's Life in the Fast Lane as well. So there's some great weekend viewing here on WagerTalk TV. And I also have the NFL Fade the Public video on Saturday. Check it out. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, a little something for everybody, guys. That's the bottom line, and no better place to start here heading into the weekend than with the Contrarian Gods and the Contrarian Play of the Day. And we're going to go late night here for this one tonight. Talk a little bit about the New Orleans Pelicans hosting or taking on, rather, the Phoenix Suns. This opened up somewhere around 6. It's now 7.5. Shocker to nobody. And at this point, doesn't look like they'll have any of their best. Ingram still in a concussion protocol. Zion, who the hell knows? 7.5 is the number right now. But what do you think here, Andy Lang? Pelicans were a little undervalued, I believe. Was that Dallas they played there and kind of boat raced them without any of their guys? So Contrarian Gods think they're worth a look. What do you think here? Is there anybody you're focusing in on this game?
Yeah, I love the points in situations like this where, you could have these bench guys that come out and they play really hard. They're motivated to try and put on a really good show. And if you're Phoenix, it's a pretty good letdown spot if you went into it thinking, we're going to go up against Zion and McCollum and all these big name guys, and all of a sudden no one's there. So it is a letdown spot. It's a really great contrarian play. Yeah, there's one play that sticks out. It's Chris Paul over 1.5 made 3-pointers. We're getting a fantastic price at plus 125. I talked with Jay Money earlier this week about how Chris Paul was so bad at shooting to start the season. He was 1 for 13 from threes. I said, I'm not going to take the under because he's been so bad. It's an obvious regression back to the mean. Sure enough, last game, 4 for 5 from threes. So he may have found his shooting touch. He's not an incredible three-point shooter, but he's certainly not 1 for 13 caliber. So who knows what the backcourt is going to look like for the Pelicans. But when you're looking at some of these regression candidates, Chris Paul's a great one. It may take the books a couple of games to realize that he's probably back shooting. So I love him over 1.5 made 3-pointers, especially at plus 125. He only needs to make 2 of them. This could cash in the second quarter if he gets a couple of open looks and is feeling it. So that was a play that obviously you got to look at Devin Booker over, but you could have the blowout potential if New Orleans is starting all bench guys and the game gets out of control. So only play for me in this game is Chris Paul over his threes.
Love that look there. Mejia, talk to us. Listen, it's like we're having the same conversation once we learned that everyone was going to be out a couple of days ago with this New Orleans squad. Here we are with Phoenix off of that big win, although a technical fest against Golden State. So what do you think about the Pelicans tonight, keeping it within the 7.5?
Yeah, I don't love it. And I was on the Pelicans against the Mavericks the other night and got the outright win, which is great. And they have enough to play. I think Alvarado is going to play. And, if he's out there, you will get peak Chris Paul because those two went at it in last year's postseason. We'll see about T.J. McCollum with his finger injury, probably plays through that. But Herb Jones, I don't think he's going to play. It's a knee hyperextension. You want to be careful with that. And speaking of being careful with players, Zion Williamson and his hip, I don't think you throw that kid out there unless he's 100%, and he's clearly not. I haven't seen any numbers yet, at least on DraftKings that pull up immediately. But Trey Murphy is definitely somebody that you need to look forward to hitting 3-pointers, and he played really well the other night. Was one of the key reasons they beat the Mavericks. And they boat raced them, like you said, but then they had to survive that fourth quarter and that Luka Doncic game-winning 3-pointer that looked like it was online. Dyson Daniels came in and did some nice things for them. So yeah, they'll have players to pretend where you don't want to close your eyes and say, oh, the Suns by a lot. But I don't think it's a letdown spot for Phoenix because New Orleans played them so tough in the postseason. But it is a different Phoenix squad too. No Jay Crowder. They're coming off that Warriors win where they played really well in the second half. So I think that they will also be engaged. My only play, again, if I could get it, Trey Murphy. Maybe some Larry Nance numbers too, but I haven't seen them either.
Yeah, definitely worth keeping an eye out for this. And stop me if you've heard this, man. I'm shocked Zion's hurt, really. Let me ask you here, Merrill. What do you think? Any one of these guys goes as far as their big three, McCollum, but he says like Jones is probably doubtful. Zion, who knows? They did this to us with OKC. With Gilgeous-Alexander during the week. Who knows? I do notice ain't going to be 7.5 if one of those guys goes. So what do you think of the opportunity here back in the Pelicans?
Yeah, welcome to handicapping the NBA regular season, especially in November. Although it actually probably gets worse in December and January, right, when these guys really do get banged up. Now it's almost just like they're still trying to get into game shape. A lot of uncertainty here. And, right now New Orleans has 8 guys on the injury report. 5 of the 8 are day-to-day. Phoenix has 2 guys out, Crowder, as Tony mentioned. So a lot of uncertainty here. I don't really want to gamble on this game without knowing who's playing. One thing we do point out, though, with these injury games is that more times than not, the shorthanded team seems to cover and do better than expected, and you take that adjusted line value. So could take a flyer with the Pelicans at plus 7.5. If you get lucky and a couple guys play, the line will be shorter. You'll get some good closing line value. If not, you're probably not getting the worst situation still, as these teams often outperform. So New Orleans is the only way I would play the side here with the uncertainty. A lot of times when teams are shorthanded, you'll get more of a playground style of basketball, so the over could be worth a look as well. Pelicans have gone over in all 4 games this season. That 224 barely went over against Dallas. A little misleading, though, as they shot 58%, gave up 50%, and only went over by 3 baskets. So that is a concern. Total here is pretty much held steady at 225, though. Very little movement on the total, which is interesting, considering there's so much uncertainty with key players.
Yeah, that's the NBA in a nutshell. Welcome back here as we begin week 2 of the NBA season. The Pelicans getting a little more than a touchdown is the way we are looking at it with the contrarian gods. Now we'll focus on one of the featured matchups here tonight. And boy, this should be a good one, huh? The New York Knicks on the road taking on the Milwaukee Bucks here. 6s is what we're seeing there. I believe 23.5, which was down a little bit from 224.5 this morning. Hey, what can you say? I mean, New York was perfect right up, at least against the number, right up until that overtime situation with Charlotte on Wednesday night. They still got the win, but didn't get the cover here. And, of course, we watched Giannis decide that he wasn't about to lose to Brooklyn the other night also and said, I don't think so. So, Andy, great matchup here. Interesting matchup. What are you looking like from the prop betting market?
I have 2 props that I like. One of them will not be Giannis. No way I'm getting involved with an under on that guy. Let's take a look at Brook Lopez, under 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. His numbers are kind of dwindled from game 1 to game 3. 16 and 14 PRA the last 2 games, and the Knicks, by the numbers, are the best team in the league at holding centers to points. They're only allowing 13.8 points to opposing centers. They're a little bit worse against power forwards, so I'd look for Giannis to be doing most of the damage. I mean, Lopez doesn't have you're not going to get a high number anyways, but the Knicks can muddy up that lane, and that's not really Lopez's game. I would expect him to attempt a couple 3-pointers, and if they don't go in, I would expect him to be kind of a non-factor. So take the under there, and then Knicks fans and prop bettors know this. RJ Barrett has not come out of the gates very strong. His props have gone under. So I'm going to take him under one more time, 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Only gone over 1 game this season. That was against Charlotte, who can't stop anybody from doing anything. And against this position, Milwaukee is ranked number 3 in defending assists, number 10 against rebounds, and they are the number 1 team against points. It's a really, really tough matchup for Barrett. It's a big number for PRA, and for somebody who's only gone over against Charlotte, don't expect a huge game from him against Milwaukee. So take a couple unders there with Brook Lopez and RJ Barrett.
All right, there you go. He had Giannis being Giannis, 36, 13, and 5 is what he's averaging already. He's dropped 40 now, back-to-back. He's an absolute beast. The problem is when he goes to the bench, then this team becomes a shell of its scoring self with him on the court. And the Knicks, if I saw it correctly, they are a top 3 scoring bench right now in the NBA. So I don't know. Do you give the advantage to the Knicks or to Giannis and the Bucks here?
I think the number is a little trap line-ish. I mean, the Knicks have started off well, no doubt, but and the Bucks are without Chris Middleton. But it's still on the road on a Friday night. You're coming off an overtime win against the team missing both of its point guards with LaMelo and Terry Rozier out. Jalen Brunson had to have a huge game, make some big shots just to get you that win. They allowed Dennis Smith Jr. to play well and really survived because P.J. Washington's foot was just over the line and what would have been a game-tying three-pointer that would have sent it into double overtime potentially. And then they're going to struggle with Giannis, no question about that. I think the key to what I'm leaning towards is having Mitchell Robinson stay on the floor to at least give them some resistance in that paint. Since you're not really going to get that from Julius Randle, but I think this is an underplay. The Bucks have held the 2 of their 3 opponents to under 100 points, and they held the Rockets to 105. Even with Giannis scoring over 40 a game the last 2 days, they're prone to lulls. They rely on Grayson Allen a little more now. Drew Holiday is kind of struggled out of the gate offensively, and that Tom Thibodeau wants to limit possessions and kind of lock in on the defensive end, especially after giving up 131 points to Charlotte, albeit in overtime. It's a team that obviously wants to build up their defensive identity. So the under is my lean here, and if I had to pick a side, it would be New York plus the points, just because I think it's a trap.
All right, there's a little trappish. What do you think here, Merrill, New York? Impressive so far. What do you think they do on a road here against Milwaukee?
I think they play some defense. Tony Mejia stole my thunder there because I like the under in this game as well. So I'm in agreement with Tony, under 223 in this one. And some things I'll point out why I like the under. First of all, these are 2 of the better teams in the East, 3-1 Knicks, 3-0 Bucks. So I think we'll get a little bit more of a playoff atmosphere early in the season, which we don't often see. And whenever you get more of a playoff intensity, you get better defense. Playoff games are always several points lower scoring on average, and I think this will have a playoff atmosphere to it. So that gets me looking at the under, and I think we can definitely make a case for the under. As Tony said, the Knicks, coming off their worst defensive showing of the season, they'd held their first 3 opponents to 115 or less, and they gave up 131 to Charlotte. So they're going to definitely look to bounce back. They'd held the first 3 opponents below 43% shooting or less, gave up almost 50 on a Wednesday night. So it's a good bounce-back defensive spot for the Knicks. And Milwaukee is playing a pretty good defense as well. They've held all 3 opponents to 105 or less this season. And something else I'll point out, the Bucks are shooting 47% this season. That's come against 3 opponents that average 48.5% allowed. The Knicks are allowing just 43% on defense. So this is a step up in class defensively for both teams. Bucks are giving up just 40.5% shooting from the field this year against teams that average 45. So I think both defenses hold the edge tonight. Under 223 is worth a look.
All right, like it. Under is the look here in this one, 223 and a half as the Knicks and the Bucks get ready to do battle here tonight. Should be a good one. Let's focus on the total if we can with our overtime matchup. And the overtime matchup, of course, is going to face 2 teams that, they haven't had a whole lot of problems scoring points here. And that's the Chicago Bulls taking on the San Antonio Spurs. 229 as an open, 231.5 as it continues to get pushed up here. And the Bulls, they have shown they don't have a problem scoring. The San Antonio Spurs certainly don't have a problem scoring. They also have no problem playing 0 defense, Andy Lang. So what do you think here in this one? Up and over? If so, are you fading anybody here, or are you backing them to go over their prop bets?
Well, I'm definitely taking it over here with Vucevic over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's a fantastic matchup for him. The Spurs are horrible against centers. They give up 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 assists a game to centers. Vucevic has gone over in 3 out of 5 games. He didn't go over against Cleveland, who are pretty good against centers, and he didn't go over against the Pacers. He was well on his way to going over, and then Zach LaVine and DeRozan went ballistic in the second half. And I watched that game, and there was no need for him to do anything. LaVine was getting whatever he wanted, so he took kind of a back seat. I expect him to be in the front seat tonight. He's averaging 32 PRA this season, and it's just a fantastic matchup for him. So his point total hasn't been amazing, but he's had a couple huge rebounding games, including a 23 rebounding effort. A little side note here for everyone out there handicapping. We mentioned the Spurs are terrible against centers. The worst team against centers is the Golden State Warriors. They are giving up 34 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists a game to centers. So you want a really good over, just take a look at the upcoming centers who are going to be playing Golden State and fire away. But for this game, Vucevic over 30.5, my favorite play.
So I think Zach LaVine is stop me if you heard this one, Tony. Zach LaVine is questionable here. They do play again tomorrow too, I believe. So he'll play one, set out the other. I'm sure some combination along those lines there. But boy, oh boy, San Antonio, the market has loved them over this last week and a half. They certainly have delivered some points here. Not a lot of defense. Can they sustain it? Are you expecting an over in this one, or maybe the Bulls play a little bit of defense here? What do we get? All right, you look confused with it, but that's all right. I know exactly where you're going there. That was great. Hold that thought there, Mejia.
There you guys are.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. So,
okay.
What do you think here, Mejia? Do we get an up and over here, or do the Bulls surprise us and play some defense?
Well, we think that Zach LaVine probably won't play because Philadelphia comes into town tomorrow night, and I think that he'd rather play that game if he's got no back-to-backs due to his injury management with that knee issue. And then you have the fact that the Spurs are without Devin Vassell and without Joshua Primo, two of their more talented guards, but the one guy that's going to benefit from a playing time standpoint is the one guy that actually defends on the perimeter best, and Josh Richardson. So, really a tough game to handicap. The Bulls played the Pacers the other night, and through 3 quarters, it was a scoring fest. They were at 195 points, I want to say, going into the fourth quarter. And then in the fourth, both teams decided to play defense, and it certainly helped that the refs stopped calling fouls. But it was Chicago that, as Andy mentioned, got plays that they needed to do because Vucevic came out fast.
Yes, I agree. Definitely.
Give me the under. I like the under.
Under. No, that's not what he said. Go ahead, Mejia. Finish that thought there with Vucevic. Go ahead.
No, I mean, even without LaVine, I think that the Bulls can win this game. But I'm not touching this at all until I hear definitively that he's not going to play. And it's probably off of my card completely.
So if you had to lean, over, under?
Over, under in this game? Under for now.
Under for now. Okay.
See?
All right. Yeah. All right, Andy. He's got a little bird. He's like that little person on your shoulder there, man. He's talking for you. Merrill, talk to us over here. The Bulls can play defense when they want. The question is, do we expect them to do it here on a Friday? Like he said, Philadelphia tomorrow. What do you think we get here tonight?
I wasn't sure if your feed froze or if he was practicing his Halloween costume on Monday. You might not know this. Inside information, Tony Mejia is going as a French mime.
Okay.
231 gets it done. 31% off WagerTalk.com. Steve Merrill, check it out. I think that Tony brought up a really good point, though, actually, about the Bulls having Philly tomorrow. So I do think LaVine probably doesn't play for that reason. And, Joe, I think to answer your question, it means they probably don't focus as much tonight and play as much defense because you're right. It's been hit or miss, right? The first 3 games, they give up 46 or more, 51 or more in 2 straight, and then 37-43 allowed the last 2 games against Boston and Indiana. Somewhat focused spot, especially against the Celtics, obviously. I do not think tonight a non-conference game against maybe the worst team in the league definitely does not qualify as a focus spot. So the Bulls probably don't play D, and as we already know, the Spurs never play D. They gave up 65% shooting on Wednesday night at Minnesota. I don't think they just bounce back and fix their problems with one day of practice. I doubt they even practiced yesterday. So I like the over here. It's the only way I would play it, and these totals are high for a reason, and early in the season, these high totals cash at an even higher clip. So over is the only way to play this one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, there you got it. Spurs taking on the Bulls up and over the 231 and a half. But keep an eye, of course, on the injury report, see who's in and who is out. All right, that leaves us, of course, with some best bets. A lot of different games here on the card tonight. Andy, we'll start with you. 60 seconds on the clock. Tell us a bet you're looking at you like a little more than the rest here.
Sure, we got 2 official plays up at WagerTalk.com, a 4% and a 3% play. You can use the promo code ANDY59, ANDY59, get you a 7-day pass for the price of a 3-day pass. Got a 5% NFL play up, and you're going to get all of our NHL and NBA props for the next 7 days. It's a really good value. For my best bet tonight, I really like Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds here. He's the leading rebounder for the Celtics, 8.3 rebounds a game. And don't forget, they're going to be without Grant Williams tonight, who averages over 4 rebounds a game. Al Horford is going to be inside. He's going to need help on the rebounding front, dealing with those bigs of Cleveland. Cleveland has pretty good numbers defending rebounds with forwards, but Boston is just a little bit different. When you watch when Horford plays, he does a good job of sealing out the center on missed shots. Tatum comes in and grabs a lot of boards. Without Grant Williams in there, I think this number is just a bit too much, and you're getting really good plus money on it. So give me Tatum over his rebounds is my best bet for tonight.
Boom, up and over on the rebounds for Tatum, crashing them boards here tonight. Tony Mejia, come on, man, 60 seconds. Tell us which way you're leaning here tonight.
Well, my internet is feeling good, so if I do slow down or you don't hear me, you can get this right up at wt.buzz/TM. It's my free NBA play for the night, and it is the Pacers plus points in Washington. Sneaky injury that is going to affect the Wizards is DeLon Wright is out for multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. What that does is it leaves Monte Morris to play more minutes. He just got there, and he's a good player, but he's very small. And a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, who has some size at the position, is going to be able to take advantage as a playmaker and a scorer. The Pacers also got back Miles Turner the other night, so their front court rotation is a little deeper, and I think they're a live dog tonight. Benedict Mathurin got me the over the other night by stealing the ball from his college teammate late because refs weren't calling fouls, so thank you for that. I think the Pacers plus 5.5 is the play, maybe plus 5 now that some people have caught up on that.
All right. Gosh, look at Andy, man. It's back in the Pacers, Andy. Damn. I didn't see that.
Hey, cover and lose. Cover and lose, baby.
Cover and lose
cover
is
and
good.
Lose.
Take it anytime. We'll take that anytime. All right, Merrill, you got it. Props and all. 60 seconds. Tell us where you're going tonight.
You're going to have a free NBA play for Friday night here in the association. Just a quick reminder, college football is locked and loaded for this Saturday. I've got 5 strong college football plays right now loaded for Saturday. Might want to pay attention because last Saturday, a perfect 5-0, 100% sweep. The free play also won last Saturday. I've got a bonus free college football play. So a 6-0 sweep last week with the free plays. 5 best bets of free play right now for Saturday. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Also 3 advanced NFL plays. So check it out. WT.buzz/SM gets you there quicker. So look at a free play for Friday night in the NBA. Going to look at the Denver Nuggets minus 8.5. Goes at 9 p.m. Eastern. Denver was embarrassed in the opening game. A 21-point loss at Utah a week ago. They were minus 33 points, though, from three-point range. So a little bit of a fluky result, to say the least. Utah is tanking this season. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Denver will not overlook them this time. Nuggets get back on track. Good, quick revenge spot here. Denver Nuggets minus 8.5 goes at 9 Eastern.
Ooh. All right. Liking Denver to get it done here in that one. And there you got it here, guys. Nice card here on a Friday as Andy Lang's looking at Tatum to go up and over those 7.5 rebounds for his prop. Tony Mejia, he back in Indiana, 5.5. And like Andy said, they lose, they cover. They lose, they cover. And that's really all that friggin' matters at the end of the day. While Merrill says, get ready, blowout city here. Denver going to handle business at home against the Utah Jazz. Don't forget Boo 31. That's right, Boo 31 will get you 31% off any package you like here. All you got to do is visit Steve Merrill, visit Andy Lang, visit Tony Mejia. Guys, grab any of their packages and boom, use that code BOO31 at checkout, good through Halloween, and you'll take 31% off. Some great opportunities right now, guys. Obviously, NBA just going. College hoops just around the corner. Tons of props still. NFL, college football, NHL. A lot going on here, guys. Take advantage. Use that code BOO31 at checkout over at WagerTalk.com. All right, that'll do it here this week for the NBA Tip-Off Show. We'll be back on Monday. We'll start it all over again. We'll recap what happened this weekend and then, of course, get set. Cash a few more tickets next week. So hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Download the brand new WagerTalk TV app across all platforms here, no matter what your device, tablet, whether it's your phone, your smart TV, head over to the App Store. Go ahead and download it today. All content on demand. It's pretty cool stuff there, guys. So check it out, WagerTalk TV. On behalf of Steve Merrill, his mask, Andy Lang, and, of course, Tony Mejia and his very testy internet, we appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck with your plays tonight, this weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Good luck.
Boo! Yes, it's the final week of October, which means we have the World Series, college football, the NFL, NHL action, the NBA, UFC, soccer, and let's not forget about that college basketball right around the corner. Since we're almost obliged to have a Halloween commercial, let's make it a scary good one. Until midnight on October 31st, no costume is required to get a 31% discount on one all-access package of your choice at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo using coupon code BOO31 at checkout. This coupon will save you over $12 on a one-day all-access that includes any 5% plays. And it'll also save you over $18 off a 3-day all-access. Or why not go big and save over $90 off a 30-day all-access? Or perhaps take over business for the next year by saving over $600 with a 12-month all-access package. Coming out to just $3.77 per day for the next 365 days. Coupon code BOO31 expires at midnight on Halloween. But remember to use it wisely, as this coupon can only be used once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo. From my friend and I, happy Halloween.